This is the early afternoon of the 18th of January, 2026. This will be part four. South African Epstein survivor reveals shocking details of Epstein experience. Play for about 12 minutes. Sit back and have a listen.
What did Jeffrey Epstein and his cronies take away from you, Juliet?
Everything.
They took my innocence, but they can never take my soul. They'll never take anything from me. They tried to mess up my life. They tried to hurt me like they hurt many other people. But what really healed me is also the amazing people in the world who really care. I've had so many kind people helping and caring, and that's really brought me back to myself. And just thank you to everyone for that.
And why is it so important for you to continue to speak out about this? And on one hand, it seems like we know a lot about Jeffrey Epstein, or as much as there is to know, but every week it seems there are more disturbing revelations. Do you ever think we'll get to the bottom of this?
I think it's happening slowly but surely. Like I've said before, I think if the full truth came out, it would break a lot of people's brains because, it's a lot more convoluted and frightening than what most people realize. This is not just simple sex trafficking, and sex trafficking is a disgusting crime, but it goes a lot deeper than that. These criminals have many branches to their organizations. And I just think that the more of us who speak out, the more that we create our own media, that's why I've been grateful having X to speak out. I think the more people who speak out and share information, the better, because apparently the media do not want to interview victims of horrendous crimes. And I think the media should do their job properly and start interviewing the victims.
You've kept a diary about all this, and it is the basis for a book that is due out soon called Blue Butterfly. Why was keeping a diary so important, and what do you hope this book achieves?
The thing is, I have my diary from that year, but I wasn't writing things down daily, but I did write a few things down. Like when I met Epstein, I'm not like one of those people who writes long journals in a diary, but the author has chosen to write it like that because of my diary with the blue butterfly on the front. I just hope that more and more truth comes out, soon. And the book will be coming out soon. But again, there's a lot more information that needs to be shared other than just the book. There's a lot more information. And, I just hope that everyone does their own research. I think that's the best advice I can give anyone here is do your own research. When you read something online, don't take it for fact. Go and fact check it. And not just once, fact check it 3 times, 5 times. Do proper research. And, my friend who's written the book, she's done some proper research. And her book is very much about the scientific side of things. There's also the spiritual side of things. But I just think the more and more people who do research and also just start realizing that we've been lied to through the media, I think that's the way to make the world a better place, is to realize that we've been very much lied to.
Do you think there's a way that all these very wealthy, powerful, smart people were actually tricked by a college dropout, Jeffrey Epstein?
No, absolutely not. These guys are all criminals. Like when you get one criminal, like Sopranos, was Tony Soprano the only criminal? No, it's all of them. It's the band. They come together. They're greedy. They want the money. You can't just blame one person. There's always a group, and you need to look for the group. And that's what we need to look for here as Epstein's boss.
There's been talk about him being an intelligence agent for Mossad and things like that. Do you believe any of that?
Well, Epstein told me he worked with the CIA, so very much I believe it because, CIA and Mossad are very, they're connected. Like Robert Maxwell and Leslie Wexner apparently both worked for the Mossad CIA in the 80s. So, there's a lot going on with, that we're not made aware of with these bastards and their criminal organizations, like bringing in drugs, human trafficking. There's a lot of money in drugs and human organs and babies, by the way, guys. Follow the money. And JP Morgan, there was $1 billion worth of human trafficking transactions between their and Epstein Morgan's accounts.
I think I did some research a while ago and I made mention his helicopter and one of his, I think his jet is leased back to a CIA front company. Don't you find that interesting? Let's go back.
I mean, between JP Morgan and Epstein's accounts, $1 billion worth of human trafficking transactions. I think that should be highlighted. And I think people need to look into it because human trafficking transactions, $1 billion. Epstein, JP Morgan.
Do you ever think we'll get to the bottom of this? Do you ever think we'll know, Juliet, the exact truth, the exact source of Epstein's power?
I think it's starting to come out more and more, but I think the problem is the more and more it comes out, the more and more they try to hurt humanity, like with COVID and things like that. So the problem is they don't want this being exposed. So I think it's trickling out. It's trickling, and you know when something starts trickling, eventually it plummets and falls. It'll all come out. It will.
And do you think Ghislaine Maxwell is the one who knows all, who could solve a lot of these mysteries, answer a lot of these questions? It would seem she is.
Absolutely.
She'll know a lot for sure. She will definitely know a lot. But again, like I was saying, if the media won't interview me or other victims, well, are they going to necessarily interview Maxwell of what she has to say? You know, apparently Jeffrey Epstein was about to name names. That's why he got killed. You know, are they going to interview people who are going to name names? No, they're not going to.
Do you believe Jeffrey?
She might want to name them to get out of prison. You know, if I were her, I would name them and get out.
Do you think Jeffrey Epstein actually committed suicide?
I think no, definitely not suicide. It's either murder or he's alive somewhere. And recently I was feeling like he's still alive, but now I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure. The thing is, it definitely wasn't suicide. Absolutely not. That man would never kill himself. He was a megalomaniac. Megalomaniacs don't commit suicide.
That's an interesting point. I mean, everything I've seen obviously indicates that it was a suicide. But, you know, again, I'm not the expert on this. And there are plenty of skeptics on the suicide story. I guess this is one of those things that creates this enduring mystery. Juliet, there's so much to this case, and we've taken a pretty good crack at it here. But is there anything else, for this conversation at least, that you want people to know about what happened to you and about the Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy?
Thanks so much, Chris. Well, I think you've done an amazing job of covering pretty much everything. And if you ever want to do a follow-up, I'm always willing to come on. If any of the guests have questions, please send them to Chris. But I think most importantly, the thing is that more victims need to speak out here because a lot of the victims are frightened to speak out. You know, a lot of them are not able to. A lot of people have had to sign agreements giving away their freedom of speech. But there's certain ways you can speak out, you know, and I just think the more people who speak out, the better. Because if we don't speak out, then who will? And it's not just about the victims, it's about the public as well. It's about everyone right now because it's really hurt people's minds. It's hurt people's heads. It's been such a horrible lie, everything that's been going on. And I think the more people who speak out, the better. And the more pieces of the puzzle that come together, the better. And thank you, Chris, for helping to put the pieces of the puzzle.
Well, thank you, Juliet Bryant, for having a seat with me. I appreciate it. You take care of yourself over there in South Africa, and we will stay in touch, I promise, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Chris.
Juliet Bryant and the rest of the survivors of the Epstein conspiracy will always have a home here to take a seat with me. Thank you for joining me. Again, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to weigh. And you know, gosh, this story isn't going away anytime soon, as much as we know now. There's more to know.
I'll attach the link. Pass it along. And thanks for listening.